want you to sponsor me. Why am I successful? Small water. Hi guys, welcome to Tea Time with Maginhawa Season 2. I know you guys have been waiting a long time and requested for us to bring this back. So here we are, we're bringing it back, and I have two special guests today. I've got Faith over here and also Anthony. So they will be joining us for Season 2. Obviously you guys should know Omar, or if you don't, this is Omar.
What's up?
And I'm May. And today we are going to be talking about the rise of Asian dessert here in London. Yeah.
Woo!
Yo.
Rise up!
I was waiting for someone to say something else there. I was like, what's going on? Yeah, so the rise of Asian desserts here in London, it's grown in the last 6-8 years.
I think
exponentially.
we're one of the beneficiaries of the popularity of Asian dessert, I guess, right? We kind of hit it at the right time with Mama Sons.
I think so, yeah.
But we're going to be talking about what prior to that.
Yeah, no, prior to that, what did we have before? We didn't have a lot of options. We just had... Well, I know my favourite dessert place was going to Cinnabon in Piccadilly.
Oh, yeah.
Nostalgia.
Specific Piccadilly branch?
Yeah, okay. Of course, it's the OG.
There's some branches that I specifically go to.
Which one?
Or Piccadilly as well. But also there's that one branch inside the station. I forgot what station it was.
Bond Street Station.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And it's not there anymore, I think. They closed that part down. Where it's like opposite, like near McDonald's.
Mm.
Yeah. That was the one. Cinnabon.
But specifically, like what Asian desserts? You guys went back then. Was there any place that you went to? Because I knew I'm considerably older than I think a few of you here, but I know that there was a general. Was it the coconut buns? The Chinese bakeries down there is what we used to go to all the time.
Yeah.
But it's also.
I think
back then.
What were the names of the desserts?
Golden Gate Bakery.
Golden Gate.
Yeah.
Shout out.
My
What else?
go-to.
Yeah.
Golden Gate.
Wonderful
The pandan
patisserie.
cakes.
Yeah.
The pandan
The
cakes.
chiffon cakes.
Yeah.
Well, I
Yeah.
specifically get like the rolls. The savory rolls were good, but the
Custard bun.
custard bun that they had,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
really good.
But it was either like Chinese bakery, which is the Asian dessert side of it, or it was, for me anyway, Cinnabon, Haagen-Dazs, or Krispy Kremes.
Yeah. So that was one or the other, right?
It was that or this.
Yeah, I remember going to Haagen-Dazs all the time. So we go to Chinatown, eat our dim sum, then I would usually hit Haagen-Dazs afterwards. That would be my routine.
Yeah.
That was like my favourite thing.
And then we'll get takeaway.
Strawberry
from
cheesecake.
Haagen-Dazs down like, you know when...
the Odeon,
Yeah,
Leicester
yeah.
Square.
You know
Yeah.
when Shake Shack used to be KFC?
Yeah.
No? I'm too old? No,
No,
that used
I
to be
remember.
OG.
I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't remember that.
Haagen-Dazs closed like what, a few years ago?
Yeah, but
A
like
long time
now, the dessert place
Not
now,
a long time ago.
Not a long time ago,
No.
because you know what's been popping with money?
What?
M&M's World.
I don't see the fascination of M&M's.
You don't?
No.
We're the only branch in Europe of M&M's World.
I wonder why.
And you
I
can't
mean-
really fail with chocolate.
No,
Really?
everyone went to
I was
M&M's
never, you know
World.
what? I was never an M&M's guy.
But that's the only-
But are you a chocolate guy?
I love chocolate. I like the inside of M&M's. It's just the outside of it. It's just a waste, I reckon.
But I think
I
M&M's
just
was
want
the
to go straight for
only...
the chocolate, man.
It was only the kind of confectionery shop that you can kind of go into and have an experience.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, you know, they double down on the
Yeah,
brand.
like
I know
when
that.
you go in, there's like 10 million people being like, try this M&M or this M&M.
They
or,
never offered me M&M's.
or what?
I've never been offered
That's why you go to M&M World, because they give you free M&M.
It's
Really?
because they could tell
Really?
you went
Is
into
this true?
chocolate.
Yeah. You go there and they give you, and then on top
When you
of
don't
that,
have money, you go to M&M World.
Saying that, I did go post first lockdown. So.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I thought they would be like, oh, it's that guy again. Doesn't like chocolate. He only wants to get to the
I don't
center
like
of
the
chocolate.
shells of the M&M's.
See,
so.
they know that though.
Yeah.
Do you know what
That's
Kim
why they didn't give
Kardashian
you
does?
one.
Kim Kardashian puts it in the microwave and then pops them. And
You see,
melts them.
I dig that. I would do that.
Sorry?
Yeah.
It's like
Does this look
it's
like Pop-Tarts?
It's like Lindor. How do you eat your Lindor?
No, but that's delicious.
The
It's
little
Lin-
ball-
Lindor?
The little balls of is it Lindor?
Lindor.
Lindor, yeah.
Lindor?
You kind of like
Yeah,
in your mouth,
okay.
let it
It's
warm up.
lint.
Lint.
Lint, not Lindor.
Yeah.
Lindor is that thing that you roll your clothes with.
Lindor.
Oh right. Yeah. But anyway, I like popping that in my mouth, like Kim Kardashian.
You just eat it and you just bite it.
Yeah. No, I let it just melt.
No.
I try and get the inside soft before the outsides, and then it just pops, and it's
Can't
like
get
an
to the
explosion
inside
of like
before the outside.
Yeah, but-
Anyways, moving on
Yeah,
from
sorry.
M&M's world.
Yeah. Yeah, let's move on from that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else did you guys have for dessert before all the kind of
Before
options
the
we have
blow
now?
up, you're
Yeah.
right.
That was it. Was
that
that
was
it?
There was a Chinese
Asian dessert?
Chinese bakeries, and then Haagen-Dazs, and then Cinnabon.
Or as a Filipino, you go to our school.
Yeah.
And what was in our school?
Like all the stuff. Like
I never really
pan de
went that
coco
much.
Or like
Yeah, because we know
paletao and
Yeah.
all of that.
your
stuff.
Filipino culture is a bit.
I had to wait to go Barra Fiesta to get any Filipino desserts
That's
once a year.
I think before the whole Filipino dessert popped off, especially with you guys, I think everyone just went to Earl's Court because that's where the Filipino food hub is.
Right.
And I think ever since then, they've just kind of specialized more into the food because the Filipino dessert scene has just grown so big that they need to capitalize on something that they're more strong on, which is Filipino food.
Definitely.
But I think even back then, like when I got to Earl's Court, I do go for Filipino food, but not really
For
Filipino dessert.
No, there's nothing there. Definitely.
You know,
Definitely.
I don't know. That was
You
just
mean there's nothing there?
No, there's
The
dessert, but it's takeaway dessert. It's not like it's an eat-in dessert. You know,
Okay.
Yeah.
you go there for the puto or the kuchinta.
Yeah.
So none of that dessert experience.
or like
you
if
wanna
I
go
went
in.
to like a Filipino like supermarket, I would be buying like that ube tub.
Yeah.
You know, that hella expensive ube tub.
Ube cake. Cake, not C-A-K-E. K-E-Y cake.
Yeah,
The one in the...
Cupcake. Yeah, the one. Shout
No,
out
no,
Tawana, East London, and Tawana, West London.
The
you
one
know.
that's in the packaging.
What's that? What's that one?
You're kidding.
Cupcake.
You've never had it?
No.
No.
It's like individually packed.
It's Rubino
cupcake.
Corporation, the same
And
people
they have
that
different
owns.
flavors. They have ube.
Cupcake.
They have
Yeah.
original vanilla. Whatever.
They have pandan.
Yeah, pandan.
Where is this?
Why didn't we ever do cupcakes?
Why did we never do cupcakes?
And
Yeah.
it's not spelled cake. It's cake.
Cake.
I think cupcakes.
Cupcake.
I love cupcakes, but I personally just don't like.
No, but
making
there was that huge cupcake
Yeah.
like craze as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, I love cupcakes.
Well,
I-
Lola's
Hummingbird.
they smashed it.
Hummingbird, yeah.
Bird.
And that's what everyone was going on about. Everyone was baking cupcakes, and cupcakes was a thing. And when that was, and then I think
yeah.
Asian desserts happened after that,
Yeah.
right? That was probably
Yeah.
the timeline.
I think ice cream was one of the ones that really took off, and I remember.
I think it was underrated ice
Yeah,
cream.
when we first opened up Mama Sons, we actually were considering completely not even doing Philippine ice cream. It was supposed to be pan Asian ice cream, and we even the thought of doing ice cream was okay. This is a bit of a risk. Let's go hit Soho, and see what year did we open?
We went to go try
2000
Chalupo.
Yeah, what year was that?
That was
You opened Mama Sons.
2015.
2015,
Yeah.
right?
Like at that time, there was a lot more ice cream parlors opening up.
I think dessert behavior started changing in the UK. Like we never had a dessert culture,
Yeah.
and that's probably why we probably thought Haagen-Dazs was just
Actually,
the most
pause on
amazing
that.
thing.
There was a dessert culture, but it wasn't known as dessert culture. It was a bubble tea culture before ice cream parlors.
No, but even before that, but that's not even like I wouldn't consider bubble tea a dessert.
But like ice cream in the UK.
Oh,
is more,
Omar, that's a bold statement.
No, like okay, coming from a restaurant guy, all right. The way I saw the timeline, it was okay. You had American dinerish concepts started opening up, and they started releasing stuff like Tinseltown and their milkshakes, and then that was really hot. And at the same time, cupcakes came out.
Unpopular
And then-
opinion.
What?
Tinseltown is not that great.
No, it used to
Shout
be
out
very good.
Tinseltown,
It was
Queensway.
amazing.
I used to go there all the
Tinseltown.
time.
You have a wall full of chocolate bars. You pick which chocolate you want, and they blitz it up with some soft serve ice cream.
That's still on. Creams, Caspas.
Yeah, no, but back
That's kind of standard
10
now.
years ago, that was incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, that was.
But right now, it's your standard. Like that's what you get.
In Wana
anywhere
if
you
I
go.
never had milkshake, people wouldn't come like, do you have milkshake? Do you have Oreo milkshake? No, they feel very disappointed.
No, but
No?
I think that right now, or even before, bubble tea is a dessert.
Is it?
Unpopular opinion. I think it's a drink.
I think it's a drink.
Dessert.
I think it's a dessert as
I
well.
think it's a drink.
So
it's a
half
dessert.
and half. Half and half.
I think
It's
it's
a
a
drink.
drink.
It's a dessert,
You drink
It's a
it.
dessert.
guys.
Excuse me.
I mean, it has
That
just
mu-
as
you
much
know
as
what?
sugar, as much sugar
We
as a
make
dessert, but yeah.
bubble tea and ramen, yeah, and that is not a drink. A drink is something you pour out and you mix with a spoon and you're done with. Bubble tea is art. You make tapioca.
If you could suck
you
it through
boil
a straw, it's a
you
drink.
you boil it
Agreed.
perfectly
Yeah.
and it's chewy. How much do you?
But
people
there's loads of
complain?
stuff in bubble tea. There's the egg pudding
Yes,
thing. There's
yes.
the grass jelly.
There's the
popping
tea.
boba.
There's
Okay,
like so
so-
many elements to it. It's just the same way as if I had to make a chiffon cake.
How many ingredients
I
in a
have to
Coca-Cola?
get all those components together to make the perfect
One.
chiffon cake.
A milkshake, is it a drink or dessert?
It's a drink.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, but my rebuttal is, you do have people that's coming in and ordering bubble tea and just saying, "Hi, can I have a milk tea, no bubbles?" So is that still a dessert?
And sometimes they order bubble tea.
But is
whilst
that
eating
bubble
the dessert.
tea? That's not bubble tea anymore. That's just
But then if
Beverage.
they wanted that, they could have gone somewhere else.
What's
but they
that?
went to
What's that new
shop.
brand that just opened up in Chinatown, but doesn't really specialize in the whole tapioca vibe? It has the deer as the
The
logo.
alley.
Teatime?
The alley.
The alley. The
Have you
alley.
heard of the
Oh,
alley?
the alley.
Ali. That's in Holborn, no?
Yeah, yeah, correct.
Right.
They've got loads of branches.
No.
Do they?
Well, they have a lot of drinks that don't have tapioca in it, right?
Yeah, but I do
Mm.
like
Or
their
branches
brown
outside
sugar
of
though.
London.
Like Jade last time ordered that. It was just a cookies and cream drink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think the bubble tea thing, I think is a dessert.
Okay, so like Asian desserts, you have
Period.
you have the beverage bubble tea avenue,
I agree
and
with you,
then it
man.
kind of veers off as well to something more tangible. You could poke with a fork and stick in your mouth, and that's probably the cakes and ice creams and the foie.
You know what? They're
and the
treats.
souffle
That's what they
pancake.
are. It's a treat because sometimes when I don't feel like having a full-on ice cream cake thing or a cupcake or whatever, I want to go have a bubble tea, and I kind of
Oh, definitely.
yeah, I kind of think of that not like in my mind it's a dessert because for me
It's a sugar
it's
hit,
after
man.
dinner.
It's a bit
After
like,
dinner is
a
dessert.
hit.
I think we can safely all agree it's a
But
treat.
it's a matter of convenience as well.
It's a sweet treat.
Okay, so the point is what? The point is
Bubble
it's,
tea is a
The
drink.
point is, bubble tea has actually became popular, right?
it's blown up.
It's
It's
right?
like-
blown up.
Yeah.
I remember when it used to be like a tradition for me, just after sixth form or after things.
Yeah. I remember when it just used to come in a basic cup, like, oh yeah, it's just a coloured drink with some tapioca and that's it.
I remember my
Now-
other friends that weren't Asian were like, "What the hell are you drinking? Why is there little bubbles and bits in that? Why are you drinking that?"
Are you chewing or drinking or what? And sometimes you just choke. 'cause
You
it
do
goes
both.
down your throat
Or
like
like
that.
when you make them try, here, have a go, and then they sip it up and choke on it, and you're just like, you're meant
Trigger
to-
warning! Trigger warning!
Choking hazard. Would you say Bubbyology is like the first kind of branch that went big with bubble tea?
Big
That
No.
kind of irks me because I'm
Isn't
not a fan of bubbleology.
Isn't it Teatime?
No, bubbleology.
From what I remember, look,
Outside of Chinatown.
Teatime for
outside
me.
of Chinatown, before I think in the Filipino community it was what La Cuatza and right?
Everyone's special connection.
yeah.
We all met at La Quacha.
Oh, did you?
Shout out
La Quacha, we love you.
What area was it? You're Claire.
Notting Hill.
Yes.
Notting Hill.
We would always go catch
Hello,
up
Kuya Mike,
every
Ate
Costa.
Claire.
Because we all were from North. Or
Right.
Northwest.
And that was the hangout.
That was
That
the
was a-
hangout.
that
That was
was-
an hangout.
Yeah.
Was
I
that
remember
hangout.
being at Quacha and I actually told Kuya Mark and Ate Faith, I was like, why isn't there more of this? Like, I want to one day have something like La Quacha, but not
And
bubble tea.
How old were you guys when you started hanging out there?
Damn, I was-
15.
I was probably like 17, 18.
All right,
Yeah.
so I think
Yeah.
a big part of the
17,
Asian boom,
16.
dessert boom is consumer behavior. Like you guys were probably the first wave of consumers into that market. I know when I was 15 and 17, we weren't hanging out in dessert parlors, probably because there weren't many. We were just trying to get into pubs and bars and clubs and get shit faced. You know.
Yeah, but that's because you were allowed in and it was less strict.
Well, that's it. Less strict. There's
Yeah.
more regulation. So what do you guys do to hang out and meet? You know,
And at that time,
meet
bubble
friends
tea,
and
bubble tea places weren't considered a dessert place. They were considered as a bubble tea place.
Yeah, you always just take out.
Let's
When-
go bubble
yeah.
tea.
Yeah, when La Quacha came in, because of the interiors and
I love
everything,
La
it was an
Quacha.
experience. You know, like even the stuff like the membership card
Yeah.
thing, you put yourself
Yeah.
out
When
there.
we were designing Mama Sons, I told Omar about that, and I told Omar, you've never been to La Quacha.
yeah, I've been. Of
Have you
course I've
been? You
Oh.
said you've never been.
No, I've been.
You've been
I'm
physically,
physically.
but why didn't you know about their like loyalty wall?
A loyalty wall.
Yeah.
I've seen Polaroids on the wall.
Yeah, that's the
But
loyalty
But it's not
wall.
like
Yeah.
I've been there a
I
couple
was
times.
there.
I was there.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Do you still have the stack of?
Of course I do.
So
I lost
Mark used to
mine.
go so much. He had a stack of like the stamps. He has this thick of a stack,
Oh really?
and I'm not even lying.
Brand loyalty, friends.
And
But that's
Yeah.
sadly closed down. Right?
But
Like,
I wanted to
after
do
how-
that for Mama Sons, and I was like, I can't do it because it's just
Yep.
we don't do that.
But shout out.
Shout out,
Yeah, well done,
Lakwacha. We
Claire.
love you.
She
Auntie
does pop
Claire.
ups
Come back.
once in a while, and that's pretty cool. And well, we're looking forward to seeing more stuff from Claire in the future. But I think her family's growing now.
Yeah.
And things kind of deviate.
Congrats,
so.
Ate, on your babies.
So after that, what happened after that?
After bubble tea, we actually thought that died a little bit.
I think ice cream popped off.
The variety.
Ice cream in general. So let me go back to what happened. So when we opened up Mama Son's, we thought, is there actually an industry for ice cream in general?
And that was
in London, because it's a cold country, it's a cold city. Do people really go out and eat ice cream? So whilst we were building Mama Son's,
about a year before Mama Son's,
we went to Soho to go check out the scene. And
Nice.
And it was in the midwinter, and there was a queue for Jalupo.
Yeah.
Right?
And I remember being like,
amazing gelato.
And I love ice cream. All seasons.
And there was a queue for it in the middle of winter, and I think, wow, people are actually going out specifically to the spot to order ice cream. Then what else was there? There was
Yokin?
Snowflake.
no
Yokin,
Yokin, but
Yokin, we need to talk about that.
Yeah,
separately.
no, but what's that one next? Sujiri.
Sujiri, yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
Sujiri.
Let's
blew
talk
up.
about matcha later on, yeah?
Yeah, matcha. That blew up.
No,
matcha was
before Sujiri, there was Jalupo, Snowflake,
Is it actually called surgery?
Amarino, when they did that flower patterned one.
Amarino.
And then what was the other one in Covent Garden? Gelatorino, where they actually used what we use right now, the Catarriga, the upright batch freezer when you make ice cream.
Yeah.
But Sujiri was probably the first
And then
Asian
Sujiri.
ice cream parlor.
Dessert parlor.
Ice cream focused dessert
Matcha.
parlor. And they were delicious. They had queues at the door.
Yeah.
They operated from such a small unit. The unit's still there.
You couldn't get in.
Yeah.
It was really upsetting.
The original one is down
Gerrard
in,
Street,
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah.
Do not
I think
correct-
so.
just outside Soho.
Next to Babology.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
the original
That
one.
one.
Yeah.
Rupert Street.
Ne
Rupert Street.
Les Mis.
Yeah.
That's the one.
I know that
And then-
because Yolkin also started in Rupert Street.
Oh.
Rupert
A
Street.
little kiosk,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I
They did pop-ups.
couldn't stop talking about
May
Yolkin.
brought me there.
I brought Omar there for the first
The
time.
queue was around the block, completely around the block. We waited over an hour. And I'm like, why am I waiting an hour
My
and a
ice
half
cream
for
brings
ice cream?
all the boys and girls to the yard.
It was
And
a
they're
great.
like,
It was a great
Can I
concept.
pay by
though.
card?
Yeah, I remember seeing. What did you say? Sorry.
Oh, sorry. No, I'm sorry.
Yokin.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Okay.
That was a good monologue.
Why, thank you.
Anyway, Yolkin, I remember seeing it on Instagram, and this is before the wave of Instagrammable desserts. And I just saw it. And
Instagram, happy birthday, 10 years.
Oh, happy birthday, Instagram. I didn't know that.
When?
Happy birthday.
When today?
Last month.
It's not the birthday no more, but 10 years is a long
No,
time.
no,
Is that
10
long?
years. 10 years,
Wow.
2010.
10 years is a
2010 was
very long
Instagram.
time.
Instagram was acquired by Facebook 2012. So happy 8 years with Facebook.
Wow.
Yeah, and they sold it for £1 billion. So, anyways, the challenge before even is to take a photo out of a square, but now you can have any dimensions. But coming back to Instagrammable dessert,
Bring
Quick
it back.
facts right there. Yeah, anyway, Yolkin. I was obsessed with Yolkin. I think every day I was asking someone to line up with me.
it's not even every day.
Every Saturday.
Yeah.
Saturday. But every week I would try to ask someone who wants to line up, who wants to do it.
Yeah.
And you two were always really busy. And he didn't want to do it with me until I just had to force him.
I still went with some people.
Yeah, well, not with me. Disrespect.
Yeah, the
Inner
line-
hurts,
the
inner
line
hurts,
was
inner
in-
hurts.
The line was
Yeah.
line was insane. That was just a mad line.
Omar couldn't do it. We waited for 1 hour, and then Omar topped out and said, "Listen, I'm going back to the car. Call me when we're up the front, and I'll come." And I remember he did that. He did that. He waited an hour with me.
I swear I waited with you. No.
No, you waited an hour with me. Tapped out and said, "I'm going back to the car.
Let
Cool.
me know.
Call me when you're at the front." And I was like, "Okay, fine," because I really want this. I need to try this red velvet ice cream macaron
Oh, you
before
had it
I
then.
die.
I went way before that.
Way
When they
before.
had
Yeah.
like really not basic, but they had like just the simple
Yeah.
flavors, and then they would have. Wait, did you go to the one where it's like just a cart or like
Yes,
a shop?
the cart. No, sorry. I went to
No,
the
we went
one
to the shop.
where they did a
took
pop
over,
up in
they-
a shop.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
took over one of
When it
some
was a
restaurant.
cart though,
Mm.
No,
not a lot of
Mm.
people knew
Yeah,
about
yeah.
them.
no one
It was
wanted
on
to come
Carnaby
with me
Street
at
or
that
something. Was it?
time.
No.
No,
It was still on Rupert Street.
It was still around
But
that.
it
Yeah.
was like just those carts that they just like
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
walk around with.
Yeah.
That's when it started.
Anyway,
Crazy.
Yeah.
we got to the front. Well, I got to the front, and I call Omar. I'm like, because I wanted to buy 5 of them.
SOS.
Exactly. This guy rocks up, and I just see all these people really angry that he's coming to the front with me, and I'm ready.
Rotted. Who's this bomba thing?
And I'm like, can I please get one of each flavor? And we got the whole shebang.
If I was behind you, be like,
Yeah, because you weren't allowed to buy a lot more than
one of each flavor.
You know,
one
but what I
flavour.
did, I loved her story and the
Yeah.
fact that the reason why it was created because she had all these egg whites left over, and she needed to figure out she was making ice cream with all these egg whites. What can she do? And she was macaroons. I mean macaroons, right? Macarons or macaroons?
macaron.
Anything.
Macaron.
And
No,
she just stuck
macaron.
it in a macaron sandwich, and it was like, what a great
Iconic.
story.
Iconic.
Yeah, and I love that more than anything. You know,
Yeah.
the product is great. I think it's a dope product.
Yo,
Definitely.
But the story just stuck with me. I'm like, okay, that's
Red
really cool.
velvet.
And this was all before
Forever
Mama Sans.
fave.
This all before we opened the Mama
Before
Sans.
Mama Sans.
Surgery we tried, and I thought, wow, that's fantastic. Yokin, and I think the buzz started kicking off with having bubble tea, and all of it started simmering in. And then I think one of the main kind of pinnacle moments was how they redeveloped Chinatown a bit more. I think the
Yeah.
Shaftesbury
Yeah.
group started buying more of the properties, and they started hand curating who to go, which shops and what independent brands would go into the area.
They did a very good job.
Very
'cause
good job.
I remember them getting a lot of backlash as well when that happened because
Yeah.
everybody was complaining that this new landlord's taking over Chinatown,
I
and
was sad.
they've closed the old photo booth.
Shout out.
Trocadero.
Shout out. That's my.
That's my chat.
No,
I'm sad that they
Teenage.
did
That's
that.
my teenage years.
Yeah.
So you never hanged out in Chinatown. You would
Trocadero.
hit
No, no, no.
Chinatown.
But that's
But you
fine,
go
Chinatown.
Trocadero, right?
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
But what do you call that little thing that was where Mama Sans is right now? There used to be like a little
There's
like-
a lot of like.
little tiny
Yeah,
shops, and then
Yeah.
there's
I
like
call it in Tagalog, change.
Oh, what does
And
that mean?
That's like wet market.
You like your wet
No, no, no,
market,
I
yeah.
thought Changit meant like small shop with bits and bobs.
Ganun din yun.
It was a
It's
big
the same.
shop with bits and bobs.
Yeah, it was a mixed bag, like a flea market.
Yeah, flea
yeah,
market. There
flea
we go.
market.
Sorry.
Like, wet market. I was like,
Don't let educate enough of that English now, bro.
I was like, is that wet market like for groceries?
Okay, thank you. Next.
But they did vegetables and
Oh.
yeah, they did groceries, didn't they?
Oh,
Did they?
Tourist
I
stuff.
thought they used to do like the corn dogs thing and then the shopao stuff.
They did the
down
shop
there.
out.
And little
stuff.
street food and stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
It was like you only go if you have nothing else to kind of do
Yeah.
and you just wanna.
Yeah.
What, Trocadero?
Hang out. No, that little corner like in Chinatown where
I used to
Mama
hang
Sans
out
is
in
now.
the arcade that's still there. It used to be called
Yeah.
Play to Win.
The
I used to play Tekken all the time.
Yeah, that's inside Trocadero.
No, no, yeah. But there was also arcade inside that
Oh.
Oh
new
my
dessert
days.
lane.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so
Oh, yeah.
just before the photo booth, there's also arcade stuff down there
But I
upstairs.
remember photo
Shout out
booth-
Kevin Dino.
I
He's the
remember
owner.
photo booth. You always have to go up this escalator, and then there'll be like a whole area. It's just photo booth. It's just one after the other. They're all like kind of like lined up, and then you just pick whatever.
Why do you think that blew up though?
Because there was no Polaroids.
Because we had no camera phones. man.
No Instagram yet.
No
Nothing.
Instagram.
No.
Everyone's phones were like very
Crappy,
B-Tech,
yeah,
basic.
rubber, yeah.
Yeah.
I had a flip phone that time, so obviously photo booth was the best time.
Shout
of my
out
life.
Sony Ericsson Walkman thing.
Come on, and it was. I think it was the highlight of every single time you meet with your friends, especially friends outside of London. You'd be like, guys,
Rah.
this is
You
the
have
plan.
to get
Rah,
photo
true,
booth.
true,
We're going
true.
Central, we're going
Guys, those were the
Trocadero.
first kind of modern selfies. Then you realize that
Yeah.
But is
Yeah.
that really a selfie though?
that is a selfie.
Yeah, because you click there.
Yeah,
and
you're
then-
like,
No, that's the modern like.
Should have taken
It's
a
kind of
picture.
like it's kind of like the Polaroid now. I feel that
Yeah.
the Polaroid thing has kind of replaced that for me. So instead of wanting to go to a photo booth, you have like a friend being like,
who uses a Polaroid?
"Excuse me, everyone uses a Polaroid."
Do you use a Polaroid?
I don't own it, but like I use it.
When
If
you
someone whips it out, obviously
Yeah,
I'm gonna be in there
yeah,
for it.
Let me
Yeah.
get one piece.
especially
Wow.
Filipinos,
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
one person whips that out, it's like, yes,
Nah, sorry. You're
give
10.
me your film right now. I'll pay you £10 for all of it.
Yeah, the point being, it's like through that
Bro,
tech. I think
business
that was the first selfie kind of.
She's a
culture
businesswoman.
happening. But generally,
Listen, you don't want to rip them up.
Trocadero, and what else was there? There was that
That's the dance thing. Yeah.
the dance thing, the arcade
Yeah,
down
Downstairs.
You know what? I remember I used to say to my friends,
That was
whenever
big.
we'd ask each other, "Where are you? Where should we meet?" Guys, meet me at the billiards at the back.
Oh!
Meet me at the billiards. If it's not the billiards, meet me at the photo booth at the top.
Amen.
Those are the two main
Gospel.
spaces.
Listen,
that
it would
you
also
meet.
piss me off because it was too big and I couldn't have
No, if you're a true OG Trocadero, you know what the billiards are.
Yeah.
And you know which specific billiard
There was a
area
few.
it is.
And you guys were never there.
Faith, I love the way you say billiards.
But that's the Filipino way.
Say it again.
Billiards.
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 Well, how do you say it?
Billiards.
I think I'm gonna say it like that from now on. Usually billiards.
What?
Billiards.
Billiards.
That's how she said it.
No,
You say
no,
no?
girl.
Say
No?
it.
Billiards.
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 That's the same. You guys are saying the same thing.
No. I
Billiards.
stress on the yard.
Yards.
Billiards.
Yards.
Billiards.
Yar.
Billiards.
Yes.
Anyway,
Alright,
billiards.
we digress.
Next.
Asian dessert.
Asian dessert. Back to Asian desserts and the rise in London.
But yeah, let's now kind of dwell in. So now that, you know, that whole thing is already closed and thing. So now it's like the new dessert lane.
Yes. So
That's important.
I'm gonna tell the story.
Yeah. You
Alright,
tell the story,
so-
You
sir.
go on.
When
yeah.
after we opened up Kentish Town, and it was roughly what 2017.
17.
2017.
2017.
And then Shaftesbury called us, said, "Would you like a space in Chinatown?"
I actually thought it was
That's
a prank
amazing.
call because,
Did you?
yeah, at that
Ah.
time, I accidentally put my personal mobile number on the Mama Son's Instagram, and this is when we had like silly followers, like 5K or something like that. And
That
someone-
was silly. That's silly.
Silly.
well,
Silly.
that was silly to other dessert brands because they had like 100K. We were like little tiny 5K.
Tiny.
She a baby.
Yo, that was tiny. Like Creams be having 200K or whatever. But anyway, they called me and they were like, "Is this Mama Son's?" I'm like, "Yes. We'd like to offer you a space in Chinatown."
That's amazing.
And I was like, 1 second. I was like, "Where's Omar?" And I was running around, and that day Omar went out. I couldn't find him. And after that, they were just like, "Yes, can you meet us in Chinatown in 2 hours?" And I'm like,
Dang, you actually changed there.
see you in 2 hours. Hang up the phone. I'm calling Omar non-stop. He finally answers. He gets out of the train station or whatever it is. I tell him, "Chinatown wants us. They told me to meet them in 2 hours. Are you going to make it?" And he was like, "No," obviously, because he was gone.
Sounds like a chase.
So I went there, sweating and everything. Met up with the what do you call this woman? The broker, the person that finds the people,
The agent.
the
Account
agent.
manager.
I met with the agent. Had to FaceTime Omar, and literally in seconds, Omar was like, "Take it, go it, say yes now, make a deal." And I'm there like,
Yes.
I was
No,
just,
but initially she did tell me like they wanted, and she was super excited, and I'm like, and because of the excitement, I was excited as well. I'm like, "Oh wow, Chinatown."
I think we were shouting on the
Ooh,
phone to each
yeah,
other.
I'm like, wait. How much is the rent? How much is the rent first?
I was like, "I don't know.
and they go, no, you don't know. No. Find out how much is the rent.
I don't know."
Yeah. And she was like, and we found out the rent. I'm like, what the fuck? No, you crazy? Yeah, are you mad? No, that's more than all the places right now put together. No way are we gonna do that. And then we thought, you know what? Listen, if that's the rent, that's the rent. There must be a reason why they demanded that kind of rent. And I did a quick Google search, and I found out, you know what? That's kind of like the market rate. If anything, is a little bit more favorable.
Do you want to
So-
tell them how much the rent is?
No, we're not gonna say. You guys could do your own research. And we went
Go
out
do your
there.
own
Just
business.
imagine.
It's a lot.
It's a lot,
Just
yeah.
imagine.
And we went out there,
£1 million.
and what I did, okay,
No,
numbers
no.
will always make sense, right? So we sat down outside the shop, and at that moment, the new where we are right now, it was all empty. We were still doing refurb.
Yeah.
It was just massage parlors,
And
And-
Kapacha
Capucha,
and Happy Lemon.
Happy Lemon and Sujuri, and that was it.
Yeah, no, Sujuri hadn't even opened. It was just
Sujuri,
like a
yeah.
coming soon.
No, they were open when I was counting.
Oh,
So I sat down outside
Yes.
and I actually counted the amount of customers that went into Sujuri.
yeah.
we sat there
Raw.
for almost-
Analytics thing.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
sat in the whole day and we did like an
And
average.
after that, we did it with Kapacha
Yeah,
and Happy
and we
Lemon.
did an average spend per head, and we did the numbers, and then we thought, you know what? After all our overheads, the numbers do make sense, and it does justify that rent. It is a feasible project.
But saying that, by doing those numbers as well, in Chinatown, we realized that if we had a bad day in Chinatown and we didn't hit those numbers, the footfall, it would be like a major hit
yeah.
to what we would need
Kentish
to
Town,
make
you could
up
have
for
a
the
you
next
could have a
week.
bad week in Kentish Town. You could have a bad month in Kentish Town. you have a bad week in Chinatown.
A bad day in Chinatown.
Not bad, no, but you're in trouble.
Yes.
It's a massive setback.
No, you're in
Wow.
trouble. You're in trouble. To operate on those levels is you have to be consistently busy or have a lot of working capital in order to fork out the rent and the business rates. The business rates, I'll tell you what the business rates are, and the rent is a lot more than that. The business rates alone is like £50,000. So it is a lot of money. But but as soon as we opened, I think other places opened in the area, right? There was more bubble tea joints.
That's my student loan.
Yeah, that's just ratio. That's the council taking that money.
Wow.
Yeah, that's not.
Thank
even
God they're
that's-
paused right now till next year.
Yeah. So I mean, it was a sticky situation during
Sticky.
very sticky.
Mango sticky.
Yeah. So like Chinatown was one of the first first areas to die down during the pandemic.
Yeah.
You could understand why everyone was scared to go to Chinatown and.
Why are you racist for?
Exactly. So.
Why are you racist for?
But we had a massive. I mean, a lot of the business owners were kind of.
Really concerned.
Yeah, they were very scared, and the fact that the area was curated by the landlords, so they picked independents to operate in the area because they wanted to have.
That's so good.
Yeah,
They actually had the vision in mind of having it as dessert alley or dessert lane.
and that's where we are right now. It's
And
called
that's
Dessert
what
Lane, Dessert Alley, and
So what's gonna happen to those little shops that like sell like the different, just like not
The
food?
clothing, the.
Oh, they're
little-
still there, but it's just most of the.
I think they're kind of still. Some of them are private owned.
Yeah, but
Not all of it is owned by the Shaftesbury Group.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay.
There's
but
a-
dominantly it is filled with different desserts from Asia because you have the mango place, you have Ro,
then
you
Bingsu,
have
Gaza, right?
Takoyaki,
Takoyaki.
Taiyaki.
Taiyaki.
The
Taiyaki.
ice cream.
I already know
With
Taki
the
Taki.
fish waffles.
Yeah.
And yeah.
love
Kova as well recently just opened there,
Right.
which they do like the Asian meal. Oh my god, it's just left my
The
brain.
Chinese bakery in that square is kind of
The
like
pancake cake.
restructured as well, and they,
Yeah.
and I think the rise of Asian desserts, in addition to the trend of bubble tea, in addition to a few of the pioneers, and it being associated with it being Instagrammable, like was it waffle and bubble
Bubble
wrap.
waffle,
Bubble wrap.
all right, bubble wrap.
Bubble?
Everyone had that photo with the and the red gates in Chinatown. That was the thing. And the fact that Shaftesbury kind of they played it very well, curating it with independent dessert parlors and unique brands.
I think it's definitely more interesting.
Yeah, that all had a knock-on effect onto the rise of Asian desserts. Now, it came to the point where I remember we won the Golden Chopstick Awards.
Oh yeah.
Momentous.
The dessert.
award.
Well done,
Yeah,
well
best sweet treat, which was amazing, a great honor. But then Ben Jerry's, they contacted us.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
B&J.
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 They were like, the guy was like, it was like a
We
scene
need
from
to
a
have a
movie.
conversation.
He's like, hey Omar, here's my card. Give me a call. And I'm like, yo, Ben and Jerry's. This is Ben and Jerry's. And May was like, okay.
Man, Ben and Jerry's.
Yeah, and we were thinking, oh, what do they want? What do we, is this something?
I was thinking-
They want a piece of you.
Yeah.
Ben and
Are they gonna
Jerry's
buy me off?
Ube?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'll sell it. Yeah.
Ube brownie ice cream.
Whatever. Yeah. And then one of the
Oh,
reps.
no. I'm so sorry.
Ube cookie dough.
Can we not? That's our favorite thing.
Yeah, what did Ben and Jerry's say?
Yeah, so they came down, and one of the reps came, and she was I'm sorry about the term, but brain all right, literally asking us all the questions we knew about Asian desserts, what
is this?
how do we make our ice cream, and then like halfway through the conversation, I thought they wanted to do a deal or something, and halfway through the conversation, I'm like, oh motherfuckers, yeah, she's trying to tap the shit out of me and get all the information they need in order probably to do their own. They realized that there was a definite trend happening,
Their own beat
and they really want to capture some of that market.
Listen.
And they even asked us, would you consider selling some of our Asian ice cream in your store?
And then I think we started laughing at that point.
And I was like, nah, you want to buy our ice cream? I'm gonna buy our ice cream.
Asian,
Yeah.
Ben and Jerry's has Asian flavors.
Well, that's
Yeah.
I think that's what she proposed to us. At the end of it, like we kind of sussed it out, and I'm kind of like, okay, let's stop talking too much. And she offered us vouchers, right? She was like,
Yeah, but we know.
yeah, I'm like,
Vouchers.
Exactly, those
After
cheap mothers,
she
man.
has
They're like,
taken your time to
Exa-
ask you so many questions.
right?
And she's like, have some vouchers.
Shout out Ben and Jerry's.
Ben and Jerry's, I
Yo,
love you, but what was that?
I still mess with Ben and Jerry's though.
I
still
love
like-
you
Y'all
still,
know.
but what
Come
was
on.
that?
I mean,
On
their
a
story
bad
is
day,
great.
Ben and Jerry's.
Them against Häagen-Dazs.
Ben and
If
Jerry's.
you ever watched that documentary, check it out on YouTube. I can't remember the name though.
documentary.
We'll try to find it and leave it in the link below.
Yeah. Good documentary about
Link
the
below.
the
Was
ice
that
cream
correct
wars.
terminology?
But
Sorry.
it felt like, you know what, we're gonna have a war going on. You know, if they didn't step off.
It's a war. It's a war. It's a war.
And I think at that point, that's when we realized that Asian desserts is gonna still be strong in the next 10 years, particularly Filipino desserts.
Yes.
I feel.
Yeah.
I feel that ube, like something that we all, only Filipinos mainly, we're kind of aware of, is now gonna be the new matcha.
Yeah, I mean, matcha now
I
is
feel-
just, you know,
I
you
feel-
find out in every supermarket and every, like, anywhere that sells ice cream, matcha would be the predominant flavor there.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like if you're getting an Asian flavor, it would be, yes, I'll get the matcha.
And then the ube.
Yeah.
Or the taro.
now it's ube or taro, yes.
Ube versus taro.
Oh, that's another
Let's have that
conversation.
conversation.
Oh,
a-
that's gonna get a heated one.
But you know what? I've tried ube like freshly boiled in order to make ice
Yeah,
cream.
we had to try it that
we
way.
had to try it. So like her mom, May's mom, brought down and smuggled in 2 suitcases of ube.
Immigration, please don't come for us.
Yo, man, and it was like I couldn't believe she opened up the suitcases from Philippines.
She
And
had 3
these massive-
suitcases.
She didn't have no.
Yeah, full of ube, and this was 2 weeks before opening up Mama San.
Customs,
Yeah.
please don't.
Yeah, that was.
They
and then-
didn't suspect a thing.
There
and
was
me-
no dog.
Yeah, me and Moya were making ice cream, and we tried it, and we tasted it, and we're like,
No.
this is a bit shit, innit?
It's a
And we
no.
were opening up the ice cream parlor in 2 weeks. We're like, bro, this is a bit crap. I was like, yeah, I know, man. It's a bit. And then we realized that really ube, without the sugar and all the other ingredients, that doesn't really taste so much. It
No,
tastes, like,
sorry.
it tastes like a yam. It tastes like a potato.
I need to correct you right there. I'm sorry. The reason why it tastes like shit when we did it for the first time round.
We didn't add much. We didn't
No,
add
no. It's because we just chopped up the ube
Yeah.
and blitzed it with milk.
Yeah,
and
we
that's
made
not.
ice cream.
And in my head, I don't know why I let Omar do that. And because I know how to cook ube. I know that you.
In her head, she's gonna blame
No,
me.
well, he all the
Filipinos,
season-
you know how to cook ube. It's like halaya.
Yeah,
Halaya.
this is the
So you
season
start with
pro.
halaya.
Yeah.
We never had any idea.
Hala? Yeah.
I knew you were gonna fucking.
No, but yeah, in the beginning I thought, yeah, this is right, because we actually went to like a little crash course on how to make ice cream, and typically you're meant to do it cold. So I was like,
Gelato
yeah,
University,
fine,
yeah.
And then we realized that after that it tasted like shit. Sorry to say that again. We had to find
Bad.
another way, and it was making halaya, which is how you really get the real taste
Halaya.
of ube. You want to say that again?
Yes.
Yeah.
See, the
One
thing
more
is
time.
like how ube is usually eaten, because it's quite a hard vegetable. It's a vegetable.
It's a vegetable.
Yeah.
A
Is
root
it?
It's
vegetable.
a really hard root vegetable. So how Filipinos processed it, because obviously it's originated from the Philippines.
Tell me this, because I want to know this. This is interesting.
So it's obviously when on its pure form, it's very like, how do you eat this? Because it's not like you can't just steam it how it
hot,
is,
solid,
Yeah.
man.
like potato or like a yam or whatever, because it just doesn't work like that. But then-
Why?
Because it's like you said earlier, when you just do it like that, it doesn't taste great.
Yeah.
That's why Filipinos, obviously, we have a sweet tooth. The way they did it was that, which is the
Sweet
introduction
tooth.
of ube halaya, is you have to steam it and then
Boil it.
kind of, or like boil it and just crush it and then add your milk, mostly coconut milk, or like your sugar, and then that is
These
the
are all
essence.
explicit now.
This is the essence
And that's
of
what,
ube
yeah.
halaya.
And that's the flavor we
And that's
know.
the flavor,
That's
yes.
That's the flavor
yes.
we're familiar with.
You don't.
Yeah.
Can I say my theory in this?
Yeah.
We just love rice too much, yo. All right, we're the only country that I know of that has cassava, and we don't use it in savory cooking.
Even our breakfast has rice in it. Shout out Bintan.
Cassava is used as a dessert ingredient, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anywhere else in the world, cassava is a savory ingredient, right?
Yeah.
So
possibly,
like I could
yeah.
imagine a Filipino back in the days like eating cassava with his adobo, and I'm like, wow, what is this?
It's our
Give me
Japanese.
the rice.
Rice.
Give me the
No,
rice.
no, no. It's our Japanese. It's our Japanese heritage in there. Straight after we were colonized by Japan.
Right.
And that's where the rice comes in.
Yeah.
So how come cassava has never been used? I mean, saying maybe that
But-
kind of
but
had an
cassava
impact on
is-
ube, for example.
No, but cassava
Why,
is
ube would be a
used.
great ingredient in a stew.
I don't disagree.
Yeah, so
but
why
it's
don't
just-
we use it in stews?
But the process of cooking ube, like fresh ube, like is not the same way you would cook a potato.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you have yam, you got hard food, and it's
But
very
that's-
similar to like cassava and yams, and that's used predominantly in
But
the
then that's
Caribbean,
what
South
they
America.
use.
To be fair,
And
that's
like
why we
steam
have
and stuff.
potatoes.
Yeah.
Like, why the heck would someone want to steam and boil something just to make chips? Nah.
But anyways, that's too
I love
much
cassava.
theory
I
now.
love cassava chips.
All I know is that
How come we don't have cassava chips?
We
Some-
do. You just
You
need to
do.
buy it
we
somewhere
shall create it
specifically.
at Maginhawa.
No, I mean, listen. I'm sorry for my ignorance, but in Philippines, is cassava chips a thing there?
No.
No,
It's a
and
dessert.
that's my point. It's cassava is used as a dessert. It's a dessert. You add sugar.
Yeah.
You add whatever.
Filipinos love sweet things.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line.
But
They
I
like
think
sugar and milk.
the reason why ube is specifically seen in desserts now because you have other you have other alternatives to ube to put
Oh, yeah.
in other foods. Like for example, where I'm from in Iloilo, like we grow ube as well, but we also grow purple yam, and that's what we eat predominantly because ube is so like it has more specific stuff to put in it for you to consume it.
I have a theory.
Whereas purple yam for us, you just steam it, done. We eat it with rice. We eat it with
Efficiency.
Yeah.
yeah.
Also, I feel like for
I
ube,
guess so. Yeah.
for ube as well, the reason why it's dominantly used in desserts. This is my theory, not like a proven thing. Because I think when you cook it and you go through that long process, and with ube you cook it with skin on, and when you make anything out of it, the colors are so vibrant and natural that it's almost like a natural coloring.
It's too,
Oh, yeah,
it's
yeah.
too pretty. It needs to
Yeah.
be dessert.
Yeah, exactly. And I think in Philippines, I'm gonna imagine that food coloring wasn't
Purple.
as accessible to anyone. That's why they cook with it, bake with it, put it in any bloody dessert. Like when you go to Philippines, you can get ube anything.
How old is that?
Anywhere.
How old is that ingredient?
Old enough.
It was really old. It wasn't
Too
really.
old.
It wasn't really. Ube wasn't really introduced as a dessert thing. It was more. It was. I think it was only not recently, but like in cookbooks and stuff.
Yeah.
I think it only appeared like mid
Yeah, like when I
20th century.
as a kid when I used to go to Barrio, I tell my friends about I have purple yam ice cream. They're like, "What? Are you crazy?" You know, for a very, very, very long
Is
time.
it really purple?
Yeah.
Is it now raw things?
But now you got roadmen coming into mama sons like, "Yo, bruv, give me 2 scoops of ube."
We love the
bruv."
roadman. Please still come.
Yeah, and like literally, like it makes
That's
my
so rude, guys.
it makes my heart like full of happiness to hear that. You know, yeah, different walks of
Do
life.
that thing again with your heart.
Yeah, I mean, there is as synonymous as vanilla now. You know, that's what I feel like. I mean, maybe not vanilla, but
Ube is the vanilla of the Philippines, okay?
Exactly,
It
yeah.
is.
Yes.
Can we just also agree in
Second
this? Ube all have the same ingredients, ube halaya, sorry, and methods, but the, what do you call this? The most important thing in here is no matter how many ingredients or method you do, whole ube tastes different.
Whole ube.
In terms of like, no, texture-wise.
Oh yeah.
That all ube tastes the same, ube halaya. But I mean, like, you know how like you go to, who made this ube? Who made this that? Blah blah. Do you get what I mean? Like all those loyal titos, titas,
Yes, yeah.
and ninong sinangs kuya, ate.
They always
Or
have
nanay,
different
tatay.
ways of making their ube halaya.
That's ratios though. That's milk and
Yeah.
sugar ratios.
Yeah.
Don't believe it.
we watched this news report. What channel was it on?
ABS-CBN.
ABS-CBN, where they said actually ube is disappearing.
They're no longer.
It's disappearing.
No.
It's turning white, and the purple, the traditional purple ube is slowly going away. And they had a comparison of crops they've harvested, and they had a small pile of purple ube, and then they've had a massive pile of white ube. But the funny thing is, they span it there, and they said this is the new thing, white ube.
And they're all
And
like, oh my
White
god.
ube halaya, and-
It tastes so much
which
better.
is basically for us like white yam.
Freaking.
You know, but they did it well.
Yeah.
They spun it and they made
But
it.
an update on that disappearing purple ube, that is no longer. It's just ube is dominantly grown in Baguio. Do not correct me. Someone else told me that. It was Omar's mom. And
Put my mum under the bus.
and it dominantly grows in Baguio, but now the ube there is turning white.
It's the
and
summer capital of the Philippines, by the way, Baguio.
and now it's actually growing. The purple ube is now growing in Baler. That's the last update I've heard. So it's still growing, just
Still
in a
quite
different.
near.
It's just in a different part of the Philippines now.
It's pretty shit if you're a ube farmer though. Like, oh no, it's not growing here no more. I gotta move to Bel Air.
Say that again.
Baler.
Does that actually work?
Baler.
No. Listen,
He said Bel Air. Is this Fresh Prince?
Bel Air, Bel Air.
Raw Will Smith. You tasted ube before us. Raw, mate.
How do you pronounce it?
Bel Air.
Baler.
That's what I said, no?
No, he said
Bel
Bel
Air.
Air.
You said Bel Air.
That's what you're saying, and that's what I'm saying.
We're
Same
saying
thing.
Bel Air.
Say it.
Baler.
What did you say?
Baler.
And what did I say?
Bel Air.
I hear the same thing, man.
No.
Anyways.
Say
Alright,
Halaya.
Halaya.
I think we have to break up. I'm sorry.
Anyways, friends. Thank
No.
you for listening to our big rant of ube.
Yeah, so to break that down, there's been a lot of desserts. Not just Asian desserts, but the classics, moving on to the nostalgic, then hitting the trend desserts, and now, what would you call ube? The new trend? New phase?
I think still it has a lot of legs.
Yeah, it's
You
still
bet.
very new.
It's still very
Yep.
new.
It's
It's
an
not
octopus.
Most
as
people haven't tried it,
established
yeah.
as matcha.
No, it's an octopus. It has many legs.
Oh, so it's a baby octopus.
Yeah. And I think this is a really important topic to me. This is a really important topic to me
It's important.
because our business is an Asian dessert place.
Fusion, yes.
Fusion? There's no fusion about it.
There's a
babes.
bit of
That's
fusion.
joking. No,
there's a
delete
bit
that.
of fusion.
What?
We do baklava ice cream.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
But that's a special. That's like homage to just
We do a
stuff
bit-
we like to
Red
eat.
velvet.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it is 100% Filipino. Everything
yeah.
in there, and I think for me that makes me really happy and proud that we have something like that right now.
Definitely.
But you know why we decided to do baklava ice cream? And we thought, okay, let's sign that off because we have Filipinos have such a massive impact now in the Middle East, and vice versa. When I went to Dubai, there was like local Emirati speaking Tagalog fluently.
So many Filipinos in Dubai.
You go to Manila.
Oh, your
now,
brother.
Right. You go to Manila. They're carving shawarma on the road. That's street food. You know, so it's just having a cross culture. So a big part of our demographic is Middle Eastern constituent as well, and they're coming in. We're getting all the time franchise requests from Qatar, Saudi.
Plug that in there.
Yeah,
Middle East.
franchise requests. You know, hit us up. You know, even though we're not ready yet.
Shalom.
Emails below.
Yes.
That's in Middle East.
I want a permanent summer.
Yeah, but yeah, and that's why we did baklava as well.
No, I think we are a traditional Filipino dessert,
Foundation is there.
Yeah.
like which is Asian desserts.
Right.
But we also love doing things that we like to make, which is specials like baklava ice cream. We did a collaboration with Halago as well back a while ago, which was a guava cheesecake ice cream, and I love that.
Oh, nice.
And we did other things that we just permanently can't have on the menu, which is we did a red bean ice cream right now.
That was good.
Yep.
That's good.
I love red bean.
That was a flavor that we had to
Do
do.
you-
Yeah, our Malaysian
Repeat
customers
it again?
love it.
I love
Right?
red bean.
We love it.
Repeat?
Yeah.
I think that might have to stay in Chinatown.
I think that's gonna stay in Chinatown.
But yeah, I
We
think
stay.
I think for us, starting off as a
I used to hate all those like red bean and all that when I was a kid. When I was a kid,
disclaimer.
I was like, what the hell is this beans in my dessert? Like even a hala hala. I used to get beans in I'm like, what's going on?
Hala hala.
I'm gonna say it right now. I actually don't like red bean in my halo halo. Sorry.
Just one after the other, just stop.
No, but now I could appreciate each texture and the way each
How?
hello,
No. How do you appreciate the texture?
the way it just rolls in my mouth and pops one by one.
Woo, bubble tea. Shout out.
Yes.
What are you gonna say about red bean, May?
What was I gonna say?
Yeah,
I
we-
don't
about
like
red bean.
it in halo halo.
No.
She said it. She said it.
Listen, I'm very particular. I only like
Coming
Like-
from a mama son.
no. I only like 4 bits of red bean in my halo halo.
4.
4 bits. 1,
1, 2,
2,
4.
3.
What are you gonna do with 4?
Listen,
I love
I'm
you too.
You know what the red bean does?
listen. I'm not at the cocoa through and
Yeah,
through.
yeah. No, but
That's me.
what the red bean does, it
Ah,
helps
nata.
you appreciate the more superior ingredients in there. So you'll have a
Raw,
method
there's
of-
a hierarchy, you know.
Yeah. I mean, you have a bit of red
President,
bean.
Vice President
Don't do my
thing.
man red bean like
No.
that.
All right.
No.
Biden Kamala thing.
It's like a palate cleanser. You're like, oh, okay, red bean.
No.
Oh, nutty the cocoa. Oh, wow. And then
Nata.
and you have 2-3 of them in a row, then it kind of like,
Listen,
it diminishes the enjoyment.
we all know.
So then you have enough red bean. And you think, oh, nutty the cocoa again. Oh, that's nice. That's what it does.
But we all
for me
know the
anyway.
top like ingredient in halo halo is leche flan. Come on now, that is it.
Yeah.
No, I think it's the ice.
I think it's the evaporated milk.
Still. There's no halo halo without the ice. Excuse me.
That's
I mean,
true.
That's true. That's true.
That's
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's just what?
It's just nothing.
It's a pile of mix.
It's
right?
just toppings.
Right.
Anyway, I tried to say it a few times before, but these guys wanted to go on some more. What I was trying to say, Asian desserts. Yo,
Filipino desserts.
I'm
There's a rice.
especially Filipino desserts. I'm especially proud that we're part of that wave right now. At this time, like of it blowing up,
Representation in it.
making sure that we teach people about ube and halo halo and pandesal and all our flavors that we do.
You know what I find that's cool right now? I'm sorry.
What's cool?
What's cool is that we're opening up in Westfield, right?
Plug that in.
Yeah.
Plug that in,
And not
Westfield.
Not just for the plug. It's
Westfield, London, yeah, Shepherd's Bush, not Stratford, by the way.
Right.
Listen, we
Yes.
like Stratford as well.
Yes.
Okay, so Stratford, we're gonna acquire you too.
We were looking at Stratford as well.
Yeah. We actually initially looked at
But
Stratford.
the whole point I'm trying to make right now, we're opening up in Westfield.
Yeah.
All right, not and a location where we're rubbing shoulders with Apple and Nike.
Big money
I mean, and it just shows
Bigger
what,
rent.
Ah, Cardi B.
what's happening to the dessert culture. What's happening to Filipino dessert culture?
Yeah.
It's becoming mainstream. You know, people.
Particularly ube.
Well, in London, yeah, specifically in London.
Yeah, specifically in London. Yeah.
All right. People are starting to get used to. What's our ratio mix between Filipinos and non-Filipinos right now?
I would say our customers are 50% Filipinos, then about 20% Asians, and then the rest, it's a mix of tourists, footfall, and Londoners.
And that's what I love about London. People are willing to try new
Yeah.
things. They want something new. They want a story behind it. They want to understand who's behind it. And the fact that a small purveyor like me and May could operate.
You're not small.
Well, we are small compared to Häagen-Dazs, compared to the big boys, Krispy Kremes. You know, if you had a notch.
Let's claim it. You're gonna be big.
Krispy Kreme, let's do a collaboration, yo.
Yeah.
Yo.
That's
we're
my-
on the
Krispy
line.
Kreme Belog. I'm calling it now.
That's my dream collaboration. Krispy Kreme and Nike.
Around.
Nike because we wear Air Forces to work, and listen, I funded.
They haven't moved on.
I funded a lot of children with Air Forces. It's time y'all sponsor us. Anyway,
We were
Back-
gonna do donuts before though.
yeah, we were.
Night donuts. Wow.
I mean, we do donuts, but like slice a donut in half, put ice cream and all that. But there's a brand in America that really does it very well.
I think they're called Milky Bun
Afters ice cream
and Milky Bun, something like that.
yeah, they make the milky one, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, Krispy Kreme, yo.
Yeah.
Let's do a collaboration.
Admire that brand is admired very well. I mean, talking about
Imagine
Afters.
a Krispy Kreme with
A
like,
crispy Belog. Do it.
or
Do it.
a Krispy Kreme original glazed, but with ube glaze.
Oh yeah, definitely. That'll be really good.
Might just have to make it
Sure.
myself if y'all don't come
So
through.
when you guys say like ube is like the up and coming flavor out there, what was like before that? Would you say like matcha is like a big thing as well before that?
I think
Taro,
Matcha and sesame seed. I was just hearing that everywhere.
sesame seed.
Yes, black sesame seed ice cream.
Black sesame.
Black.
Black.
That thing was everywhere.
Yeah,
meant the
Bone
seafood.
Daddies for the black sesame soft serve. In the restaurant world, they would
Yeah.
usually experiment a lot more. So you would have black sesame seed ice cream, you would have matcha ice cream, and that was the cool. And then what's that thing called? The mochi balls, right?
Listen, I'm dessert.
All right, mochi balls were just really hot, and they're still hot, man.
They're still hot.
Like, what's the brand called?
Little
Super
Moons.
Moon.
Little Moons.
Oh, Super Moon.
Little Moons.
Little Moons.
I'm kicking myself. I never thought of that. What a great idea. They have no production labor costs. It's literally put a deep freezer there, put the brand in it, and someone
deep.
just picks it up and sells it. But it's a delicious product. It's
Raw
so
tip.
good. It's so tasty.
Yum.
It's the
Listen,
mixture of like rice flour and water with the ice cream, just
is it rice
carbs
flour?
and
Yeah.
it's that, right?
There's so
Delicious.
much. We can literally go on with all these desserts.
Yes, we can go on.
But I think we're gonna wrap this up. This first episode of the rise of Asian desserts in London.
Definitely.
But guys, thank you so much for listening, watching.
We're back.
Coming back to us.
We're
I
back.
hope you guys enjoyed this. stay tuned for episode 2. And I'd just like to thank Mark and Faith and Omar, not so much, for being here. No, I'm kidding.
May.
Thanks, Omar.
And May and Omar. Yeah, I was introduced as Anthony, Mark Anthony. Yeah,
Oh.
maybe. Yeah. Oh, good.
Yeah, if you guys want us to talk about any more topics that you feel we should talk about, let us know. And
Comment below.
Yeah,
are we
check
gonna do
us-
that whole shebang?
Yeah.
Okay, you guys do it.
Check
Go
us
for it.
out as well on the Lockdown Diaries. Follow us at the Maginhawa group and all the other restaurants that's up there. Stay tuned. We're going to have our next podcast episode.
Next week.
Stay safe. Wear that mask. Even though we're not wearing the mask
Stay
right now.
positive, test
Stay
negative.
Yes. Amen. That's right. Bye,
Anyway,
everybody.
guys, see ya.
Stay safe and
No.
Maginhawa.